Hey, fellow travelers, Mark.
And Jocelyn with Walter's World.
There you go. And today we are here talking about travel, and we are here in the beautiful state of Connecticut that makes a lot of really tasty beverages, adult and otherwise. And we just want to say hi to everybody, and we're going to talk some travel stuff today. Before we get started, for those that are watching, we're going to be talking a bit about some of the changes in Europe, how things, some of the restrictions have come back, and we're going to talk about how things in the U.S., how things have been going. Also, we're going to talk about some of our trips we've been going on, lately. So
we've been doing a little bit of a road trip, and it's been really fun, except for that I fell off of a merry-go-round thing.
Yep.
Because I'm 12.
Yep. Eric B's in the house. Good to see you. Hey, Henry. Good to see you too.
Hey, Glenn. Hey,
Mache.
Liz. Mache's here, and Lori's here, and Let's Hit the Road Jack. And we have a new person. I think their name was Freezable, and they hadn't been on before.
Ryan Wrigley is a new member. Welcome to the team. We
Yay.
appreciate it. Ryan, I will be putting a thing in the feed. If you look at the feed just for members, there'll be a thing to show you how you can go to the Facebook page and request membership so we can get you in there. So we'll have that. Don't you worry, okay?
Yep.
Let's see. All right.
Oh my gosh, big jump. Okay. I'd like tips for Mardi Gras, says Kay Swenson.
Okay, so
I've done that a few times.
Well, in a few places. So one thing, I'm assuming you're talking about going to New Orleans. One thing you have to realize is the price jumps for the hotels. When you go to New Orleans, you actually see that they'll say, oh, a room that you might pay $100, $150 a night. They'll say maximum cost of this room is, what was it, $4,000 or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
It was something crazy because, I mean, it hopefully won't go up that high, but I mean, things will get booked out super, super fast. But what's interesting is people think that Mardi Gras is just the party crazy, woo, show me the beads, or no, give me the beads and show me the beads. Yeah. But you have to realize it's actually a big family affair when you're not in the French Quarter, and there'll be, I mean, there's a dog parade, there's all
lots of parades all over the place, and some are much more family friendly than others. So you can kind of take your pick and decide what you want, and if you want the wild, crazy stuff, go for it. It's certainly there for you.
And the thing is each day is kind of a different crew that'll go through, and you can actually go and see some of the crews beforehand when they're preparing. Some have museums you can check out or their work areas. So you can really kind of plan it out. But realize, like, people will book, and people get there early in the morning to get the best spots. So you're not going to be able to roll up and see things whenever you want. Sometimes it's a bit tough to see in there. But it is a fun time. And there's other places to do it, Mobile and
you can go before and after too. It doesn't you don't have to be there like the day, on Fat Tuesday. You can be there a little bit before and a little bit after and avoid some of the craziness, but also you still get a good taste of what happens. So yeah.
So our buddy Deathlock Rocks 14. Is it possible just to do only do Portugal or an affordable EU country for 3 to 4 days if I have limited vacation time and to save money? You can, but you're not going to see a whole country, obviously, unless it's like, Luxembourg or, Liechtenstein or Monaco or San Marino.
San Marino we can definitely do a day or two.
Yes, we've taken people. One thing I would say, if you only have 3 to 4 days, I wouldn't want you wasting 1 minute trying to do multiple cities and stuff like that. What I would do is find one big city or one place you'd like to go and focus there so you really get to enjoy that place, the food, the sights, the people, because you can actually get a lot out of a short vacation. I mean, what people don't realize is you don't have to spend 6 weeks traveling to relax or to chill. Sometimes you just need three days, a long weekend, just to kind of reset. And so if you pick like a place like Lisbon, where you can take a little train out to the beach, have a beach on Saturday, and you go out partying Friday night.
And you can get a really good taste of the country of Portugal in Lisbon. I mean, there's so much more, and obviously it's different everywhere you go. But maybe it's something where you give yourself a taste of a place and then decide whether or not you want to go back. Because you might go somewhere and not love being there, and it's just, it's not worth your time to go back. So, yeah.
So Cristobal asks, I'm really looking forward to your thoughts and advice on traveling to Paris with the new changes. So some of the changes going on in Paris starting, I think, August 1st. You will not be allowed to go into a restaurant or or to I think shops, movie theaters, whatever, unless you have proof of vaccination or a negative test. Places like Germany have had that before. But the thing is I'll get my phone. There's actually an app you download. Because we're going to France. Hopefully we're going to France. In the near future. So I have the app already downloaded. And what it is, it's a contact tracing app. And it lets you know if you've been exposed. But also on there, you can get your tests on there and your vaccination proof. I'm still working on getting my vaccination stuff because I have a U.S. one versus European vaccination stuff. But it's one of those things you have to show. And the thing is my work for my day job, all of last year, we had to get tested twice a week. And to go into work, I had to show my phone that said, you have been tested and you were negative. So I will say this, if you're going to be traveling in France or anywhere around, make sure you carry like a little backup battery thing for your phone, because you're taking pictures and videos with all your phones like I do. You're going to have to recharge that because I want to go to dinner, my battery's at 3%. It sounds silly, but that could keep you from going to have dinner.
It wouldn't be a bad idea to have a second camera or a second phone sometimes. It's not unheard of to do that. So
yeah, sometimes we'll actually switch between our phones to take the pictures when we're just out and about, because I don't like to carry my bigger camera that I film the videos when I'm talking, because it just gets to be too much. So I like to have we'll do the B-roll on our phones.
So Mimi was on there. I think that's
Mimi?
Kathy.
Where?
Way up there. But anyway, I was saying hi to her when we were talking earlier. So
it's Mimi. Question on Venice boat bus. Do I need to scan tickets getting off the boat bus or just getting on? Just getting on. When you get off, you just head off. It's a bit it's like cattle call on and kind of like just peep and then go, or show and go.
You go get your thing,
okay.
And I'll say hey to some people because I saw Ronnie Dove is on here.
Oh, D in the house?
Yes. And let's see, somebody else. Eric B. Hello. There was something. Okay. Case Swenson, too old for wild and crazy, but thanks so much for the tips. Well, there you go. You don't have to do all the wild and crazy. All right. Hi, Austin. Hello, W. Pellegrin from Mississippi. Oh my gosh, we really loved our time in Mississippi. It's such a great state. Really good roads. Y'all have really nice roads. I'm shocked at it. Maybe that's just because I'm from Illinois. We have just pitiful roading. I don't know. It's terrible. I'm just gonna do this one. All right. So, hello from Pass Christian, Mississippi. Any advice about coastal Maine? We are going in October. What a great time to go to Maine for the leaf peeping, right?
Yes, and whatever Google or your your Google tells you your time will be to drive it, don't trust it, because you're gonna have so many people up there to go see all the leaves.
It'll be a little bit longer. You need to be booking places right now if you haven't already booked places. Coastal Maine is lovely, and something that nobody told us when we first went, I think, was that there are these beautiful roadside motels, from the 1950s. And some of them are really, really excellent. We've stayed in one a couple of times, because we liked it so much. Remember the place, and they had a place out on the beach, and we did a bonfire and roasted.
Belfast, Maine.
Yeah. So we have a bunch of Maine videos that you should probably watch. They're kind of older, but for the most part, all of the information in there is still the same. So
let's see. All right. Did you do this one?
No.
So Ironhead asks, I'll be on a road trip next year with hope that I can travel then, fingers crossed, in March from Miami to New Orleans. Do I have to book the hotels before, or will there be enough free, nice spaces to stay? You should be okay.
I don't know.
But it depends when it is. Because usually Mardi Gras is in February.
Yeah, Mardi Gras is usually in February, so you're probably okay. But
I would book on the weekends.
For the cities, yeah.
For the cities. I would book on the weekends just because, honestly, a couple months out can save 25-30% in hotel charges. So you could, but if you want to be by the seat of your pants, you can do it.
So you don't necessarily need to be, your elbow's right in my face. And you don't necessarily need to book those hotels between Miami and New Orleans if you're taking your time and kind of meandering there. I wouldn't worry about it too much. But I would definitely do it for New Orleans.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for New Orleans for sure, because you can save. I mean, it's a huge price difference. Mark Filling's in the house making Texas shaved pasta with Italian chicken. That is the. I think you're only allowed to have Texas pasta, Texas waffles, and Texas toast.
Something at every meal.
And actually, for those of you that get Sunbeam bread, they have there's white, there's King, and then there's Texas King. So it gets bigger, bigger, and bigger.
Oh, Henry.
Oh, Henry. Hey, buddy. Thank you for the super chat. Mark and Jocelyn, have you guys ever done the Ancestor DNA or 23andMe? I actually did both and truly looking forward to comparing both of my results sometimes next month. Your thoughts?
Cool.
So I haven't done it. Both of my parents have done it. Your dad has done it. And
my stepmom.
Mm-hmm. And you can actually learn quite a bit from it. I mean, for example, my mom and I, we knew we had family from the Shetland Islands, and spoiler, there'll be a Shetland Island videos coming out next couple of weeks. And when we got to the Shetland Islands, they're like, actually, this is part of Norway, and there was a lot of Norwegian blood, and then my mom's thing was 3% Norwegian. And so it's like, because we're in the Shetland Island, and the Norwegians and the Scots and the Shetland Islands are having some Norwegian fun.
Yeah.
What are you hitting me for?
Well, I don't know. I wasn't hitting you. I was moving your hand, but you weren't paying attention.
No,
I was trying to do it.
Go ahead.
Okay, I will. Animal Lover says going to Athens and take a cruise to the islands in October. What to wear? Well, first of all, you're going to be on the water, so it will get chilly, and you should definitely have some kind of windbreaker kind of jacket over things, and maybe to keep the spray off of you too, depending on what kind of boat you're on. But definitely layers, because I was there in September. Actually, through almost the entire month of September, and even toward the end, it was still hot days. Particularly when you're in the cities, like Athens gets dang hot, and all that sun glinting off all the white buildings and the marble and stuff is beautiful, but it's also really crazy hot. So dress in layers, and that's what you need to know. So
next up, Greg, thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. And Greg, planning on a trip in 2022 from Toronto to Paris. That is actually a good flight because it's not super long and you're not wiped out after it. So good call. Flying business class won't hurt as well. Staying for a week. Can you give me a rough idea of cost? Going to take some day courses at the Cordon Bleu School too.
That's cool.
Dude, that is the coolest freaking trip. That is really cool, man. So I would say if you're looking to stay, if you're coming from Toronto, it's cheaper. Paris is cheaper than Toronto. So it's almost going to be a discount for you versus if you did a staycation.
But not a ton. Well, definitely for sure. Your hotels and stuff are significantly less than they are in Canada. If you're not staying in a fancy one, we often get, and you're going for a week, you could probably rent yourself an apartment and maybe practice some of that Cordon Bleu stuff that you're getting. That might be kind of fun, and they do have such wonderful markets. That's an easy an easy thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, looking at your budget, you figure lunch is going to be anywhere between. I mean, you're going to be working at stuff. If you're going to Cordon Bleu, you want some good stuff. So if you go for the lunchtime menus, you're looking at 15 to 20 euros at lunch for a decent sit-down meal with a drink.
And that might actually be a couple of courses. They have the menu.
Yeah.
So it'll be an appetizer and a main and a drink, or a main, a dessert, and a drink for about that price.
Yeah. And then accommodation, you can get anything from 100 euros to 300 euros. Accommodation will be as much as you want to pay. It just depends what you want to pay and where you want to be. You don't have to stay you can really stay anywhere because the metro system is so good. You'll be able to get to the Cordon Bleu no problem.
And somebody on there said they went to Hania
cool.
in Crete and really loved it. So I'm so glad you did.
Louis Capriotti, thank you very much for the super chat. I don't know if you sent a picture, whatever. That's all it showed us was there. So hopefully we'll look and see if there's there it is. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Louis. So it says, thanks for the info on my problem with the hotel in Michigan while heading craft breweries. If you're ever in Kenosha, Wisconsin, the beers at the local breweries will be on me. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it, man.
That's fun.
I appreciate it. That's awesome.
Okay.
So, Jackass, have you been to Utah? That is one of the 5 states I've not been to.
I have, but it was a decade ago or more. So it was pre-Mark and pre-Walter's World.
I don't remember pre-Jocelyn. It's all a blur.
I know that's.
It's all a black hole of despair without you. Well, here's one. Greg Biles asks. Well, actually, his daughter asks. My daughter wants to know what the best place for high tea in New York. So, some few places you can go. The one I would recommend. I can't remember the name of the street right now, but there's a place where the buildings they're so old they're leaning toward each other, and actually at the top you can actually shake hands with people across the way. But down on the ground level, you can have high tea right there. So that's where I'd recommend. Might not be the best high tea out there, but it's worth it. I actually did have that there, and it was kind of cool. I was supposed to go back there last February, but this thing happened, so we did not get to go. So
Okay.
So Esther.
Yeah.
Esther asks, thinking of going to New York City, London, Singapore, New York City for 2 weeks. Is that enough time? Would I be able to fit in some day trips? Okay, so New York City, London is about a 6-hour flight. You could do a red eye. You get in the morning in London. Plenty of stuff to see. That London to Singapore, that's a whole day gone there. So if you got a day there, then Singapore to New York City, another day. So let's see, if you got 2 weeks, you're down to 12, 11 days. Let's say you got 10 days between those 3 cities or those 2 cities. You can do that. The jet lag might get you. So make sure we have a few videos on dealing with jet lag. You're going to need that to help you get through with those big time differences.
I'm going to do this. Rob Hill says, what's your recommendation for a place in the U.S. to travel to in the last week of October anniversary trip? So for weather, I would suggest, the southern regions, depending on where you are. Two of the things I think of right away are Charleston and Savannah, because they're just beautiful, romantic cities, and they still have really good weather in October.
And they tend not to be hit by hurricanes.
Yes. Well, for sure, Savannah is pretty protected. Knock on wood. I better find somewhere.
Except one time we went, it was supposed to, then it didn't. Our friends that went down there instead had the whole city to themselves.
Yes. It was a little crazy. New Orleans would be good. But then you can think about places like San Diego might be really nice, or wine country would be good too.
Excuse me, Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Oh, Santa Fe would be nice. So I would really let weather dictate that.
Yeah. So Darian, our friend Darian, for those Magnificent German with Darian. Darian is a huge fan of Germany, if you can't tell by his name, and he actually broke his leg climbing when he was there, and he just got back home from a very unusual trip. But at least he got his spaghetti eyes, and we're glad he's home safe. So that is very good that he is back home safe for that. Let's see. Oh, Rob Mitch, thank you very much for the super chat. Going to Savannah, Georgia in October. How fortuitous that you just said that. Watched a lot of videos about it. Any updates on tips, tricks, thoughts, things to do? Love the channel, guys. So, Rob, I keep needing to put out the new don'ts of Savannah. I do have a newer 511 hates of Savannah, but I have a don'ts. I need to I've actually filmed it's updated, so I have that in there. Like now you can buy alcohol on Sunday, so that's nice. But I let you talk about Savannah.
So Savannah is my favorite place in the wide world, and
after any place
with Mark. I don't know. That's a pretty tight one. Anyway, there are a lot of really good restaurants. I'll give you a couple. One of my favorites is Cotton and Rye. Paci's really good if you like Italian. Another Italian place is Garibaldi, and that's down on the back side of the south side of City Market. And they have a lot of great seafood things too. It's kind of pricey, but it's really good. And their chocolate torte is to die for, as in that was what I asked for after I had Caleb, and it was sent to me by Chef Gerald. And it was sent to my recovery room, so I got to have a chocolate torte. Definitely give yourself a little time in Forsyth Park in the early evening, 4 or 5 o'clock. Lots of locals. There's a great market there on Saturdays in the morning. So really nice place to be and get away from some of the touristy stuff and get to just see real life people. All right.
So Kapatara, thank you very much for the super chat. Going to Cedar Point? Yes. And Cincinnati this week. Any tips Also going to Savannah and Tybee for the first ever next month. I've watched your videos.
Yay.
Awesome. Savannah
Gotta be
should pay us.
time.
Savannah, yes,
Savannah should pay
us.
us.
Dude, this is unreal. So Cedar Point, awesome roller coasters. Get there early in the morning, and you can always stamp and go out if you want, but go early in the morning so you hit a bunch of rides early, and then late if you're running around. I still remember very, very early and very, very late, people have kind of cleared out. It's that midday part where it gets really, not midday, like the 1, 2 until 5. Those can be a bit annoying, but really good roller coasters. When you are there, you can actually go out on Lake Erie. Put-in Bay, if you can do a ferry out to there, maybe go see that. It's an island right outside of Sandusky. Cincinnati, I know everyone, we actually talked about this in a video. Skyline chili is like the thing there, but basically it's spaghetti noodles, chili, and cheese on top. It's not for everybody. As many people in Ohio have told me to have it, more people have told me not to have it. So that's something there. But there's also, if you went to Cedar Point, it's not King's Landing, no. Yeah, King's Landing or whatever. I can't remember the name of it. The amusement park in Cincinnati. King's Landing? I can't remember. There's another there's another amusement park by Cincinnati. So you have that. But when you drive down, Columbus is worth stopping in to say hi for that. Okay, so there's some things there.
Hi, Kathy.
Oh, hi there. Kathy Walter says, hi guys, we're at a British bar in Fort Wayne tonight. Very awesome, Mom. I hope you guys are having a good time. My parents just were out in Maine and the Northeast enjoying some time together. Now they're on their way back home. Dudley Do-Right says, switch seats. Not used to seeing Jocelyn sitting on Mark's right. Plus, you won't get an elbow on the eye all the time. You know,
it's a little weird sitting on this side.
Which is weird. Like
I didn't
when we
actually
sleep,
think about
it's
the
this way,
fact
but
that
it is uncomfortable. Like I'm used to just looking at you like this. Not to turn this way.
I feel
and my
naked
my neck's hurting me.
It's hot.
Actually, the place we're staying, when we came in, they had their heat set to 82. So the house was.
And they don't have AC.
There's no AC. So it's taken 3 days to get the house we're hot.
That's why we have two window units.
Two window units and a couple fans, but we have to turn off one of the fans because it's too loud.
So we're just going to sit here and be stinking hot. And he's like always radiating heat.
I'm radiating love for you.
Thank you. I love you.
So Katie Smith's asking Eric B, how's New York City? If you want to check out Eric B on here is a good buddy of ours. He travels around.
With Eric B, and he did just put out a bunch of New York stuff. So everybody check that out.
And another one of our lovely YouTubers that we've done some videos with, Liz from Means to Travel, is saying hey to Ronnie Dove. And also, so I'm kind of in the background right now because I'm removing gel nail polish on one hand and drinking wine with the other.
Cheers to that. Sister.
And I don't have any drinks or nail polish, so I need to go get myself a little something. Let's see. So Liz, actually, here's the question. She said, how far in advance did you book your summer Maine trip? You want to switch sides?
What? Yeah, I want some air. That's what I want. How far in advance do we book summer in Maine? What do you think that was? It wasn't much because, you know what, honestly, we were on this big, long road trip and we started in Illinois, went all the way to almost Florida, like Jekyll Island.
Yeah, all the way down. Oh, for that? No, we went all the way to the top.
We did? We went to Florida? Okay, so apparently we went into Florida. And we drove all the way up to PEI and all over. So I was literally at that time, I was making hotel arrangements probably like 2 and 3 days in advance. And that was probably cutting it a little close. I would probably go a little further out than that because I didn't get my pick of places, but I still got decent places and it wasn't really a problem. So,
so can you all hear the fan that I turned on? In case it's too loud, we can turn it off. We're sweating.
I'm having Oyster Bay Sauv Blanc.
And this one is a Jack's Abbey post-shift Pilsner from, I tried to get a bunch of Connecticut and New England stuff. This one is from...
I don't know, there are a bunch of Rhode Island ones in there too. That was from
Massachusetts.
Mass, okay. M-A, not M-E.
Not M-E.
Hey, you're sitting on my pillow.
I thought that was kind of high.
So, you know,
all for you, Dudley Do-Right.
Here's a pro tip. When you're traveling and you decide to buy a bottle of wine, it's a good idea to get something with a screw top because you may not have a wine opener in the place you're staying. And I've been stuck without one, and that's like a giant pain in the butt because then you have to go back out and buy one. And I used to always carry them in my purse, but TSA took several of them because they don't like them on planes. So I stopped carrying them with me.
Yeah.
Although I think there's probably one in the car. That's probably not.
Well, there has
anything
been.
to have in the car.
There has been, but they do sometimes. We've lost a few over the years with TSA.
Cheers.
So John Chu says, "Hey, what travel reward credit cards do you use?" This is one thing I always tell people: is you need to get the right card that's for your budget, but also for your travel habits. So we travel enough that, and we fly Delta. We love Delta. We fly to Milan. Again, they should sponsor us too, but they don't. Maybe one day, fingers crossed. But one thing I would say, I really am taking a lot of the light away from you by sitting here. It's really. One thing I always say is, if you're going to get a travel rewards card, there's no point in me getting a Lufthansa travel rewards card because I'm not going to be flying Lufthansa. I don't go back for the Germany all the time, so it's not worth it. So what you want to do is find an airline that's based at an airport near you that you will actually use, that you will actually go to. There's no point for me to having a Southwest card if I'm not flying Southwest, so there's not really any Southwest near me, so there's no point for me having that.
And in response to this, I want to add to this. Let's Hit the Road Jack just said, I just got the Chase Sapphire preferred card, and I know a lot of travelers really enjoy that card.
Yeah.
Because right now they have a sign-up bonus of 100,000 points. Everybody's got some kind of big bonus right now on those travel cards. I'm seeing them everywhere. I just got a thing that if I refer someone on my Delta card, I get like an extra 60,000 points. Plus I get MQMs, which are the miles that count toward my next jump in status. So that's a pretty cool thing for me.
I think Mona Lisa da Vinci puts it well. Corks are so 20th century.
They are. They've actually proven that screw tops just is actually better for some wines.
Yeah, I remember corked wine.
Yeah. Well, okay.
So Paul C says, since Airbnb is canceled, what hotel chain are your favorites? Well, we still will, if we're going to be someplace like a week, we still look for rentals, but we don't just do it. We do VRBO. We look at all options.
There are several different places. It's not just Airbnb. So look at other vacation rental by owner, the VRBO, Verbo. There are several. So just kind of Google things like that, like vacation rentals,
also,
and you'll find other ones. And a lot of cities have their own like little private network of them. So that's helpful. We often stay at Hilton or Marriott, and that's simply because we have had family and friends that have worked in those, and they've gotten, we get like a friends and family discount or something if we book ahead. So often that happens, and we kind of gotten their reward stuff, and so we kind of stick with those. Mm-hmm. And you know what, you know what you're getting. Like they're always consistent, and I never have an issue with it. IHG Group they're good. Like that's Holiday Inn and all that, and you know what you're getting.
Ryan Wrigley, our newest member. Oh, thanks, buddy, and thank you for the super chat. Renting a car in Slovenia and Croatia next April. Any tips? How to find a parking place in Zadar and Split? Actually, driving in Slovenia is great. Their roads are fantastic. Croatia is just long drives, but it's not a bad drive.
And it's a lot of coastal.
Yeah, so there's that. Parking wise, there are parking garages. If you want to make it easier on yourself, you can park a little bit towards, like, I wouldn't say out of town, but you could do like middle of town and just find a place there, a garage there, and park. I know in Split, when I was there, I was kind of surprised how much. It's not like there's parking garages everywhere, but it wasn't as bad as I thought. I was there on a cruise, and so when I did notice that. So I look out for my people. I look out for my fellow travelers. So I don't think it's gonna be that much of a problem because Croatia is super popular for like RV travelers and European kind of RV trailer park kind of camping things. So I don't think you have too much of a problem. So thanks, Ryan.
Let's all be really excited for Logan because
awesome.
They're going to Germany, Austria, and Czech for a school trip next year. The school trips are like so exciting, and we're big proponents of study abroad and doing that stuff. So yay you! I'm excited.
So the green drink is just Jocelyn's wine.
It's just the glass is green.
Glass.
There are two wine glasses in this whole place.
So Tom Shaner, yeah, hi Jens. I still got to figure out how to use. You're gonna have to help me with that
Yes.
video, my friend, to make sure I get the vernacular for yins down. So
I don't know. I can't do that.
Darren
Terry.
keeps his house at 85 in the winter. Wow, I'm sweating thinking about that.
I know, right?
Oh, KK Renee is going to
Belgium.
Belgium, September 1st. Awesome. KK, we have not been to Michelin. Sorry. So I got that. Oh, Liz is off drinking some Sauv Blanc.
I think it skipped. It went up or something.
I know, because we have a new member, but I can't find their name. So our next new member, I want to say thank you for that. I will be posting on our YouTube channel, and if you go on the community tab and you look on there, there's posts that you can see that are just for members, and that's where I'll put the link for
The Facebook page.
group.
We have
Okay?
a great Facebook group. It's like a great, amazing group of people
Yeah.
who are happy and supportive and positive, and sometimes I think that they are what helped get us through the quarantine bad days.
Yeah. So coming back to the
Marche.
conversation, Marche, on our Pacific Northwest road trip, we booked our base hotels several weeks in advance. However, our travel nights, we would book a couple days out. Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
Yep.
I know for us, even when we do our big trips, we'll book like the first like 3 nights we're in Europe or in South America, and then like the last 3 nights we got like, okay, the important dates are kind of set, or like important cities. We know we're going to be like a weekend,
Right.
someplace where we make sure
Well,
we're
and
during the week.
even like this crazy road trip that we're on now, we booked our first place in Columbus several weeks out, and then let's talk about what we did book out months in advance was the Christmas Story house. Do y'all know that you can rent and sleep in Ralphie's bed? It's
Yep.
so cool.
I slept in Ralphie's bed, and you in Randy's
I
bed,
slept in
and
Randy's
Liam slept
bed.
in Randy's bed. He slept in Ralphie's too.
And
Yeah.
Caleb was in there for about a minute,
Yeah, he wasn't.
and he just didn't like it. He
Yeah.
was like, I don't like it.
Yeah, it's not comfortable. I'm like, if you're not here for comfort,
It's not
this
about
is the
comfort.
Christmas story. He's like, it's funny because what happens is it's actually a museum during the day. Well, actually, you do a tour of the house during the day. They have a museum across the street, a gift shop, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
My shirt I got has disappeared, which sucks.
It's somewhere in the car.
I
Promise. Has to be.
we'll just have to go back. Anyway, so when at 5 they finish the last tour, then like from 6 o'clock until 9 o'clock the next morning, the house is yours. So you can sit on the couch, you can go in the kitchen, you can hide under the sink, all kinds of stuff. And what's cool is there's a bar across the street where Gene
The
Shepard
Rowley Inn. And it's really good.
yeah, and the director, they found the house by accident, and they were trying to figure out how do we want to know who owns that house so we can talk to them. And the owner was in the bar at the time, and so it's a fun story.
And it's really good food. Like we
it's
ate
fantastic
there
food.
2 nights,
Fantastic
made
food.
friends, like
And
hung out
breakfast,
with
too.
people. It was so convenient because although there's great food all over Cleveland. Let me just say that despite the fact that I have an injury a week later from having an accident in the park, I think Cleveland was the surprise of the trip. I was so impressed with that city. It was fun. The people were really damn nice. Like
Tons of great architecture.
museums.
Good museums.
Art museum.
Yeah.
There's great art
The
museum.
West Side Market had fantastic food. If you want to have that
Oh.
like European old world indoor market, it's fantastic with great food. Like
So cool.
Steve's Euros, the Euro was great.
Yeah.
Frank's Brats was good. Crazy. All the food was
The
fantastic. The
peppery
food
was
stuff.
good.
So-
It was really fun. And if you are
Adam.
staying in Cleveland, I was like, if we lived here, this is where I would shop for my meat and my vegetables and my fruits. It was really cool. So
But at the road check, I'm imagining Jocelyn going around wiping down doorknobs and oven handles. Yep.
so I kind of do that, whatever. How does Charleston, South Carolina compare to Savannah? So I'm partial to Savannah, and I actually have quite a few friends who have gone to both and not had any reason to choose one or the other. And they usually choose Savannah over Charleston simply because it's much more dense with historic stuff in one space, and it's a larger density. It's actually the largest landmark district in the country. So it's like 2 square miles, whereas Charleston's is a little bit smaller. And
It's a bigger city.
it is. It's a bigger city, but when you're downtown, it doesn't feel like that. But it's still just as walkable. Maybe not quite as eccentric. So a little more on the straight and narrow, if you will. I don't know. Like Savannah's got the art school, so because of SCAD, they kind of embrace like eccentricity a little bit more, so you get a little more like flavor. But anyway, they're both great cities.
So I want to say thanks to Glenn for upping your membership. We appreciate it, my friend. Good to have you.
Glad to have you.
So Brent Flynn writes, going to Rome the end of October for 8 days. Plenty of time to see everything. I'm thinking 3 to 4 days is sufficient to see the main attractions.
More than enough.
It'll be good. Any recommendations for a 3 to 4 day trip from Rome, train down to Naples, Amalfi Coast? Thanks. So if you're going to Amalfi Coast is really easy. I would not stay in Naples. I would probably go stay in Sorrento and use that as your base. There is a local train line called the Circumvesuvia that you'll take from the Naples train. You'll come in from Rome to the Naples train station, then you switch, you go down in the basement, and you go and take the Circumvesuvia, which will take you out to Sorrento. From Sorrento, you've got a day. You can go to Amalfi, and go see the Blue Grotto. You can go to Pompeii to see the ruins there. You can go to Herculaneum if you don't have a lot of time.
to see the Blue Grotto.
Yeah, Capri, sorry. Yeah,
Not
Capri.
Amalfi.
Yeah, sorry.
Amalfi, go there.
Amalfi is another town. You can take the Vomit bus to go to Amalfi
or
and Positano.
hire a driver
or
and not have to deal with people vomiting on a bus.
Yeah, every time I'm on the bus, people just...
So gross.
Yeah.
And yeah, you could take a boat over to Amalfi and do the Blue Grotto. That's
You mean a
really
boat
great.
over to Capri?
I did too.
See? It's not that easy, is it?
Oh, Lord. So, we've done that trip actually, the two of us, and we did a crazy thing. One of the very first YouTube videos ever was us doing, seeing everything we could see in Rome in 24 hours, because that's all we had. And we did, man. I had shin splints and it was like, oh, it's painful, but we managed. So,
yeah. So Todd asks, Avignon or Edinburgh for August, or neither? So Avignon will be warm. I like both of them, to be honest. But I think for
in
August,
I'd go to Edinburgh.
yeah, the Fringe Fest is going on, so getting an accommodation could be tough. But I think it got canceled this year.
Avignon's warm.
Yeah,
in
but
August.
Avignon's nice. There's a lot of
great
easy, super close day trips from Avignon as well. So you really can't go wrong with either one. I would ask whoever you're traveling with. Give them some bonus points. Let them go like, oh, hey, you picked this one. Let's see.
Anthony Wynn. There you go.
Anthony.
Are you interested in visiting some of the Gulf countries, UAE, Qatar, etc.? Yes. So obviously all of our travel itineraries got thrown really far off in the last year or two. So that has gotten pushed off. Part of the thing with going to the Gulf is that when if we're going to go that far and spend that much money, we're going to spend a lot of time. And it's hard to get that when it's not blazing hot, when, our kids are out of school and stuff. So it's been a little bit of a thing to figure out, but we're going to make it. We're absolutely going to make it. Oh, honey.
We're having some adult drinks. Don't worry about it. Mary Ellen's in the house. Hey, Mary Ellen. Hope you're doing
Mary
well.
Ellen. Nice to see you.
Oh, look at this. Ivan Luis Oliveira. Hey, guys. Writing from Brazil. Oh, wow. Counting seconds to fly to Europe and pick up my motorhome for a ride. Oh, that would be an awesome trip.
Hey, look out. I like it. That'll be fun.
So let's hit the road, Jack. Hey, Bumpus, get over here and get your stinking dogs.
The Bumpus house.
You can actually rent the Bumpus house next door. We didn't get to go in there because that's just for people to stay. And that's like 2 units, whereas the house is you rent it by yourself.
Yep.
So it holds up 6 people, and there's actually they have an apartment in the attic. So they don't actually have the parents' bedrooms, because that's the kitchenette that goes with the apartment. But you have Ralphie's bedroom, the bathroom. There's actually a workroom, and then there's the living room and kitchen. So, and people said they didn't film anything in the house. That's actually wrong. It's taken from an interview from, I think, Flick.
And
Schwartz, from Schwartz no.
She's Flick, baby. And
Yeah, whose
Scott
name is Schwartz.
Is his
Scott's
name.
And they actually did film in the house. About, what does it say, 20% of the movie?
Yeah, not a ton of it, actually.
Because it wasn't that big, but when the dogs came in, That's from that. That's from
Yes, there are certain parts in Ralphie's bedroom, and the bathroom was the same, right? So, and they kind of go through some of that with you. Yes, I slept in Ralphie's bed. Mark was upset. No, I'm kidding.
No, then you laughed and then I slept. So you switched. We got that one. How far in advance to book? You got that one? Yeah, Clune has.
George Sullivan says Mystic, just up a bit, couple of months in the summer. So the Mystic, Stonington, Groton, Noank area is really cool. Definitely try and find yourself, if you're going to be wanting to do a lot of things on one side of the bridge, I would really suggest that you find a place to stay on that side. Like, so for instance, if you're going to be in Stonington and like, you know, a little to like toward Rhode Island, Westerly, that kind of stuff, Pocketalk, you want to stay on that side because that bridge, the traffic gets to be insane. That bridge
When the
goes
bridge
up,
goes
and it's
up,
like an hour wait. You gotta turn off your car.
It's not an hour,
but it feels like it.
Yeah, you're like, because if you go in the morning, I mean, you can be anywhere in like 5 minutes, but if not, in like 20.
But if you're more into Groton and Noank and all that area, and there's like a lot of public fishing stuff that way.
Yeah.
Although there's fishing everywhere.
And there's Ford Lobster and Abbott's.
Ford's Lobster, Abbott's,
You
the
will eat
fisherman.
very,
Isn't
very
that
well,
over
Mystic.
in Noank or Noank?
I think it's in Groton.
Anyway, so yeah, there you go.
So Sam, feels like my first time traveling. Amazed what 2 years out of travel can do to you. Honestly, so we were in the Berkshires in Western Massachusetts. We're just enjoying ourselves out there. I made a Don'ts of the Berkshires, but I forgot to make a Don'ts of Massachusetts video. So we're in Connecticut. So I'm like, well, I got to go back up to Massachusetts to film. So I took the train up into Boston, and I had a few hours in Boston. Literally, I just went to Boston to film these 2 videos. It was this and the Eats in Massachusetts.
Well, and you did some for your
I did some for
Professor Walters channel too.
So, but it was funny because when I got to like taking the train and then getting into Boston, I was like, I think I took a picture of my smiling face and like, it's like really traveling again. It's like, it's such a nice
getting
thing.
on a train.
It was a train because we've done road trips since last July. Like we've done 2 road trips to the southeast. We've done road trips up the Mountain West. We've done road trips to Texas. We've flown out to Vegas. We've done we've been traveling the U.S. like crazy, but it was like weird to be on the train. I'm like, and I got off the train. I'm coming out. I'm like, yes, City to City.
So good, huh, baby?
Oh, it did. I was pumped. I'm gonna get the front of the picture.
Pete Anderson asks, where would you go in the Amalfi Coast if you were going in early June next year? So take your pick of towns because they're all quaint and they're all lovely. But we prefer to stay outside the Amalfi Coast just because it gets really expensive. There's my happy.
That's me. Happy.
Love that. So we usually, like we said earlier, we stay in Sorrento typically. Amalfi is actually a cute town, and I feel like it has a little bit more in the way of accommodations. So I would kind of let that dictate it. Like, where do you find the best deal for you, price-wise and things like that? Because you can easily get between the towns, and it's not really difficult. So there you go. Thomas is on, and Mo is on.
So Alexandra de Oliveira.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to be in Mexico City last May, and obviously got canceled. So I do not have any personal advice to tell you. So
I bet somebody else on here can
hopefully
help.
someone else can help out Alex with advice for the pyramids in Mexico. He's trying to visit them. So if you can't help him out, I appreciate it, fellow travelers. Eduardo, you think the borders and airports are going to close again because of the monkeypox? No, I do not. Oh, Tom is heading out to Bozeman, Montana on Saturday. Bozeman's great, man.
It's a cool
It's
town.
cool. I hope you already have your car rented because car rentals out there can be a bit expensive because so many people are heading out there.
Yep, it's pretty difficult. So, all right.
You want to go down?
Yeah. Mary Ellen, just for you, we're in Connecticut now.
Mm-hmm. So there you go.
Yep.
Let's scroll.
All right. Wait, stop. Okay. Al Renoir. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but what is the key to finding great local restaurants in cities you travel to? One, if you are not in your home country, listen for whatever the local. Listen for local language. Like when you walk into a restaurant or you pass by an open door, if you're in France and you hear a whole bunch of English, that's not where you want to eat. But if you hear a whole bunch of French, then that is where you want to eat. So that's my little tip for when you're outside your home country. Listen for local language. And for us, we don't do a whole lot of looking at like Yelp reviews and things like that because I don't know. I feel
because
like
it's other travelers that are writing it, so it could be a good restaurant, but it might not be authentic because it's just a bunch of travelers doing it. So
right.
you're basically looking at a bunch of other middle-aged travelers from the U.S. writing reviews on a place.
Right.
So it's not necessarily locals.
But so we try to just get off the beaten path a little bit, and we also always ask at our hotel, or if we're in a shop and we strike up a conversation, or you're in a park or whatever. Anytime you're talking to a local, ask them where they would go eat. Like, what's your favorite place? Not where would a tourist go, but like where is your favorite place to eat? If you had to go to dinner tonight, where would you choose?
And also, when you ask at the hotel, what you have to realize is some hotels, some taxis, they kickbacks when they send people there. So that's one thing. Also, what I've found is sometimes in hotels, the people that work there aren't from there, so they actually don't really know. So that's why a concierge versus a front desk person, I would ask, because I can't tell you times I've got that. Well, other tourists, I've heard about this, I've done this. It's not always easy.
Yeah. Hi, Roxanne. We're glad you're here tonight too. And hey, Leo.
Let's see. So Emmanuel is, hey guys, planning on doing a trip to Europe in October, flying into Paris, and we'll likely fly into Zurich. Any recommendations on which cities to visit? How much time would you recommend each? Actually, if you're going from Paris to Zurich, you can actually do a few spots along the way on trains. I would probably go Paris for 3 days, and then go to Nancy for a couple days, then Strasbourg for a couple days, a day in Colmar, because it's a smaller town. That's France. Then cross over into Switzerland. Actually, you go back up to Strasbourg, go over to Freiburg in Germany. That's probably one of the best tourist towns. Not tourists don't go there.
Touristy.
It's not tourist, but it's a great city to go to. Freiburg, Germany, and then from there go into you can go to Basel, which only needs like a day, and then Interlaken. Love Interlaken for like adventure tourism. Lucerne is fantastic for a couple of days, and then you finish up in Zurich, and you can fly out from there.
A couple days out of there, yeah.
So I hope that can help. Let's see. Oh, Bia. Next time I visit my family again, I want to take the train from Toronto to Vancouver. It looks stunning. It is, and look at the different train options they have, because some places you'll have a few hours at some of the stops. You can go and see some of the places, but maybe there's a place you want to spend a night or two. Maybe you get off. You're in Edmonton, you stay off for a couple of days and see that. So definitely look into the ticket options that are there instead of like direct tickets. So just something to kind of think about. Let's see. Oh, big jump. Mache, this chat is making my prep for the new school year much more enjoyable. Oh, Mache, why did you have to remind me? I've got to prep my stuff. I got all these emails about, someone's the buzzkill tonight. So.
Okay. Hang on. Darn it. Where'd it go? So someone here it is. Sam S. This is a really good tip. Find the local language and translate it. I've gotten completely different points of view on the same place. That's a really good point. Sam, thank you for bringing that up. So make sure that you're, because locals may have a very different feeling on something. So there you go. Mary Ellen, we always have a good time in Connecticut. I have some really good friends here and from college, and we all get along really well. Our kids, the husbands, all of us just enjoy our time together and laugh a whole lot. So
yeah. Let's see.
Right.
So Shannon, going to England with my wife and 7-year-old daughter. What are some things my daughter might like to see or do? Okay, so if you're going to England, what's cool? That's another thing. Oh, sorry. You look excited.
I am excited.
Okay, you talk and then I'll.
So Lonely Planet makes these books for kids, and it's called Not for Parents. That's the name of the series.
It's a good series.
It's a good series. I haven't used it for England. We used it for France.
And
where else
Rome.
did we use it? And Rome. But I'm sure they'll have one for England. At the very least, it'll be for London. But it's like stuff that like there might be scavenger hunts or things like that. Just fun things for the kids to find and do on their own and see, from their perspective. And it's always good stuff. Like, I mean, they'll talk about the history of things in a fun way and, cultural things. And that's definitely
and it's age appropriate. Some places I would recommend, or some other things, is find some English themed movies that are appropriate for her age, and watch those, because when she starts, like, if you watch, what's not Princess Bride, the one where Anne Hathaway becomes the princess. There's like those. It wasn't set in the London.
Oh
but
yeah.
You have movies that are set
Just
there,
things
or
that
shows that are set there. Then when they see it, like, hey, I know that. Like, we had that with Rome.
Kids watch Pride and Prejudice. I mean, I probably watched it when I was.
Maybe
I think I read the book.
I don't know their
10,
school system and their curriculum. So
right.
But what I've found is when kids have seen some of these places beforehand, they get more excited when they're there. They kind of buy into it because, like, oh, did you want to see that place? And then they're like, that's my place I went to. So you have that. Obviously, any zoo you can go to is going to be good. I found the Tower of London is pretty entertaining for kids because the Beefeaters do the tours as they go around. That's fun. Walking around Westminster Abbey, St. Paul is just too big and too much, and the walk up will be too much for her probably.
It's a lot.
Excuse me, we missed something. This one?
Right above.
This one?
That one.
Okay.
Okay, Anastasia or Anastasia?
Anastasia.
Okay, so do you think it's okay to plan travel for this fall with COVID still happening? I've never traveled before. I'm sure if it's safe to plan for November in Ireland. I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think you'll probably be okay, particularly if you're vaccinated. If you're not vaccinated, that might be a little bit different. But I think that, there is a new variant and people are kind of iffy about it in some places, and other places they're not. So I think you're going to have to. I'd still do it.
I mean,
Ireland is probably, we're going in the fall. So
yeah, we have our tickets bought.
It's an easy place to travel. Particularly, it's often a place we recommend for your first time abroad.
Yeah, because they're really good with the tourists. They're used to the tourism, and they have a good sense of humor about it too.
Yeah.
So there are some people we got to say hi to.
Yes.
So I want to say hi to Marissa.
Hey, Marissa.
Hope you're doing well.
Yep.
And Adam can't wait for Savannah, so I'm glad you all are heading out there.
Best city. I love it. And you are going to have so much fun.
You will eat very well when you're there. And the tours are really good. Take the trolley tour when you're going around. The ghost tours can be fun too. There's a lot of different ones, so make sure you read the reviews on the ones you're going to go to, because some are geared for adults and some are there. Marianne says, Mystic is in my area. Well, I'm near Hartford. It's Connecticut. It's not a big state. It's not a big state. So hey, do you say, is it Abits or Abits for the pizza for Pepe's and Sally's Pizza? I never know exactly how to pronounce it the right way. So
we should have.
We're gonna have Pepe. We're gonna have Pepe's tomorrow.
Mary Ellen, if you want to DM us, that would be cool.
Yeah. Oh, Leo just got back from Turks and Caicos. Your video was a big help. Thanks. Cool. I'm glad.
Turks and Caicos is relax, eat, relax, beach, relax.
Yes. So be ready for that.
Beach.
Yes. So Roxanne, looking forward to this. I've missed you too. We missed you as well.
I answered that earlier, but you were
well, you know what? I was going to get drinks or something.
I know. We need to go down, dear. There you go. We got a big.
Oh my God! There's like 400 comments.
Right?
I'm sorry. So Jay, are you planning to come back to Nicaragua? We will.
Oh, Jay, I love Nicaragua.
We were actually talking about that the other
We
day.
were talking about it last night, in fact.
It was last night?
It was
Yes,
last night. We've packed a lot into this trip. I just absolutely love the country. And yes, I would love to be back soon.
So our good friend, oh wait, that was Jay. Hey, Jay, there you are. Another good friend, Chris Bates. I went to Mystic
Hey.
Seaport when I was a kid. Our kids
Yeah.
have gone there many times. They're actually filming a Hallmark Christmas movie
I
there
don't know
right
if you're
now.
supposed to tell people that.
Oh, well, there are people filming with stuff out there, so no one tells me anything.
Well, I mean, we saw them there. 'Cause
Yeah,
we always go to the
It's out.
seaport.
It's like when people are like, "Well, they took pictures of Spider-Man in his costume." I'm like, "Yeah, you're out in public, so anybody can take a picture of you."
Yeah.
So, let's see.
We don't.
Are we planning anything for Halloween travel-wise? Not this
just
year.
for trick or treating.
That's
That's
right.
what we do.
That's right.
We, as much as we drag our kids around, we have to give them some things where
Yeah.
they get those normal everyday things. So,
Yeah, and that's actually one of the times when I lived abroad for those 12, 15 years, Halloween and Thanksgiving were always the toughest time for me because it was like super American. I know there's I know Halloween's celebrated other places, but it's not like in the U.S. where it's
the
some
U.S.
really-
we do it up.
Yeah.
I have friends who in like other countries, and they're just like flabbergasted at the way we do Halloween. So
Cubic centimeter. Last time I went to Vegas, I lost $2,000, but I made 2,000 friends. So see, it all
That's pretty
works
funny.
out. It's like I'm putting together my script for the Don'ts of Connecticut, and one of the things is up by one of the casinos. There's this fantastic Native American museum, and I'm like, hey, look, you can lose your money, but gain a lot of really great knowledge. So make sure you go there when you're there, because they're right there. So.
I just want to answer a couple questions
Yep.
real quick. Thomas Reiser is heading to Alaska in a couple weeks. That'll be really exciting. I'm excited for you. All right, I want to answer this one and this one. So,
I have seen your trip, by the way, James.
okay. Jay Valdez says, have watched and loved your channel for years. Thank you. Me and my wife are going to Amsterdam in September for 9 days. Any must-go places? So, I love Utrecht. That is probably my favorite place to go. Amsterdam's great.
25 minutes on the train from the central station.
Yeah, and actually, it's a lot cheaper to stay in Utrecht, and you're going to have a lot less tourists. So you might want to consider that if you haven't already booked. But there is, all right, so there's a place called the Avocado Place, or is it the Avocado Shop? Oh, no, it's the Avocado Show. And they have all avocado foods, but they're really, really good. And that's one of my favorite things. But obviously, the Rijksmuseum, even having gone to art school, I didn't really appreciate Rembrandt until the first time I went to the Rijks. And I loved it. What else?
Yeah,
In
Rijksmuseum-
October or
Rijksmuseum's
September. They're in September.
Also, you can go to Haarlem, which is it's like
Haarlem's cool.
another 20-minute trip out. It's a really great time. That's actually the Dutch people love going more than Utrecht, so that's a nice little one to go to.
Yeah. There was one right near there.
Oh,
there's
a really important one. Dang, where'd it go? Yeah, the Anne Frank House. If you want to go to the Anne Frank House, time ticket, especially with limitations now, you got to. I would actually book your
Book it
tickets
now.
now.
Like now.
Yeah, like
Like get on the
open
stop
another
watching
one.
us.
Go up
Open
here,
another thing and
click
do it.
plus. Listen to us talk, but go there. There's one. Someone's asking about refilling their
It's been a long time
prescription.
since we were there.
So someone put it. I'm sorry, I don't have it here. It is Trey. Trey asks, "Can I fill a prescription in Europe if I'm a U.S. citizen?" You will have to have your prescription made there. So a doctor will have to prescribe it there. This is one of those things. You can talk to your doctor and your insurance people, and you can say, "I'm going to go on vacation," and they can give you more medication, so you can get that. I think you're limited to how many times you can ask for that in a year. But that is one thing you might want to look into. Say, hey, I'm going to talk to your doctor about this, because you can't just like roll and say, hey, I got this prescription from the U.S. Like that's not going to fly, unless they have a thing that works there. Because I know we've had this call before, and they're like, yeah, and they're like, do you know somebody home that could FedEx it to you, which isn't really allowed or legal. So yeah, I would take extras.
Hi, Rusty. It's nice to see you.
Oh, Rusty Shackelford?
Yeah.
Hey.
Dimitri Smith says, thanks for all the help through traveling. You guys make me want to travel the world much more than I ever thought I did. That makes me so
That's
happy.
awesome.
I'm so glad that, cheers, because that's
Cheers.
fantastic. On the Amsterdam thing, let's hit the road. Jack says, I'm planning one of those canal cruises. So, those are fun. I kind of forgot about that. I feel like we have spent a lot of time in Amsterdam and places around there. So I feel like I'm forgetting a lot of the things that we do because I don't do the typical tourist stuff anymore. I kind of go and get myself lost and just enjoy the city. And quite frankly, with 9 days, you have the ability to spend a day just kind of wandering around. The red light district, I'm kind of the type of person who likes to go there during the day, not at night. We accidentally wandered in there when Caleb was 3 or 4 and he's, they have red lights on outside and he's like, why is that lady in her underwear? So I had to explain why that lady was in her underwear. That was an interesting conversation to have with a 3-year-old. Yep. But it's a cool place, but it does get a little bit crazy at night. People go and they just think it's people go balls to the wall, and that's not me. So
and that's why a lot of the locals they're not really wanting the tourists to come back as strong. Also, since we're here in New England, Cape Cod kettle cooked potato chips. Yeah, those aren't the must-eats from Massachusetts, but anywhere you are, definite thing. So super crispy potato chips.
Yeah, they're good and crunchy. All right. All right, hang on.
I also want to show you something. And hot dog buns, when you go around the U.S., are different. When you come here, you have hot dog rolls, and it's a split top. So instead of they cut it here and then it opens this way, which for people that aren't used to seeing that, you're like, what? It's not like what you're expecting. It's a split top one.
I got really excited at the grocery store the other day.
Yeah. So we were at, for those of you in New England, the Big Y. That's where we shop when we're up here.
Rusty asks, have you ever visited Central Asia? No, although
another loss.
Yeah, that's another loss because of COVID. COVID's a beat. But I don't
mean
COVID.
No,
nada.
Yeah. So. Okay. Ooh.
Oh,
here we go.
Yay.
Blue Aqua. Love your videos. Thank you. But that's not what's important. My honeymoon. Wait, by yourself? I hope someone's going with you.
Our honeymoon.
Mm-hmm.
November 2.
You got to start thinking differently, my friend.
With stops in Paris and Rome, what's a good third place to visit for 2 to 3 days looking for warm weather?
Ooh.
You know what? No, here's the thing.
No.
Mark, our first trip to Paris was at the end of November, and it was
November 21st. Maybe you forgot the date.
I know, dear. And it was the most romantic thing. It rained, it was cold, and we had just the best time together. I mean, we just absolutely, that was wonderful.
Remember you loved me.
I did, and I still do,
I still love
believe
you
it or not. Rome can kind of be too. But let's think about warm places. So you're going to have to go to maybe the Azores. I can't think of anything that's really, or Madeira.
If you want to look at, because what happens in November in Europe is really kind of more rainy.
Chilly and rainy.
So if you can accept the chilly and rain, I would recommend Paris, Rome. I usually tell people Prague. London's not really romantic, so I wouldn't do that. But Prague can be.
Not like Greece.
No.
Everything will be shut down in Athens.
But Athens is not romantic at all. Mm-hmm. So that's not one. I might look. You could look for a smaller, more tranquil place, hit up to Salzburg in Austria or Innsbruck, or go in the mountains of Switzerland. Lucerne.
Oh, we'll get cuddly in front of a fireplace. That'll be warm.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not warm, you guys can make your own. Mm-hmm. Whatever you crazy people do in your honeymoons. It took us 10 years to go on one, so. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Giselle says, a mí tampoco me gusta el COVID. Hello, Mark Jocelyn. Headed to Boston for 5 days next month. Going to a concert. Fenway. Awesome.
That'll be so fun.
Yeah, Giselle, I always have a good time in Boston. It was funny because we thought we were going to go up there for more time, and then it just how everything worked. We ended up with the Berkshires. I really liked the Berkshires. It was one of the things I wasn't really planning on filming a thing there, but I'm like, this is really cool. So we ended up doing like a dunk of the Berkshires while we were going through, so it was kind of fun.
Berkshires were great. Oh,
Esther, people always seem to think I can't buy a house or won't start a family because of travel. What do I say instead of mind your own business? You can
cram it in your pie hole.
Yes.
That's what you say. It's a good Southern term. Cram it in your pie hole.
Yeah. Here's the thing. People that I've heard so many people like, oh, like the people that they have like, oh, they'll have like a pregnancy test and then they'll like have a lighter next to their passport. I guess we had to burn our passports. I'm like,
not true.
I'm like, you guys are losers. I'm like, it's financial decisions what you want to do. Get rid of cable, you got a trip to Europe every year. I mean, literally, when it's $250 for cable and those things, let's say you just have internet for $50 to $75, all of a sudden you've got $1,200, and if you don't have any kids yet, I mean, if you have little kids, you can fly by yourself. Boom, you can be there.
You know what? Just tell them that you prioritize certain things, and you can manage your own money in your own way. And again, they can cram it in their pie hole. That makes me mad. So it makes me mad.
Don't let it get. Well, yeah, it gets. But honestly,
it does. Obviously, it gets to me.
Honestly, is one of the things I've seen is our travels actually brought us close together as a family, and with our kids, and with our parents, and the grandparents of the kids. So no, it doesn't keep you from anything. So don't let them say that.
Before you do that one, someone was saying go to the Kuchenhof. Oh, Stuart is saying go to the Kuchenhof when you're in Amsterdam. So the thing is, I'm not sure that the Kuchenhof is going to have a whole lot. They do have exhibits, but I don't know what that will be like at that time of the year.
So Sam, thank you for the super chat. Switzerland on Monday, and it's raining Monday and Tuesday. Any tips? Get an umbrella. I mean,
you're such a smart aleck.
Well, no, I mean, I live in Germany where it rained. I mean, people talk about Ireland being rain. Dude, live in Germany. I mean, it was like the rainiest it's been in. Well, no, I shouldn't joke about that because Germany's really nailed.
Go plan your museums on the rainy days. Mark, shut up about your time in Germany.
I was going to talk about the floods where those people are killed.
Oh.
So I'm like, don't mean to joke about the rain in Germany because it's really bad right now. So that's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
But Jocelyn's right. But the thing is, Mondays in Switzerland, most museums are closed. If you look for private museums, they might be open. I'm not sure where you're going to be when you are there. But there are some like you can. Well, I guess you're going to be this Monday. If you look for like trainings, like a fondue. I mean, it sounds silly, but like a fondue course or something like that, you can do some of those. But honestly, I've been to Switzerland where it's raining and cruddy, but it's still so gorgeous when you're going through there that you don't really care. So, all right. But thank you for the super chat, Sam. I appreciate it. Josh says, love your videos, Mark. Thank you. And you even knew my name. That's so nice.
Victoria says, planning a trip to Spain, Portugal. I get sick on buses. What's the best way to connect towns in good order without renting a car from southern Spain to southern Portugal? Insights. Absolutely take a train. You can do that super easy. We have done that back and forth. And you can't actually driving between the two is not hard. We've done that too. And it's really pretty doable. Yes. Shut up, Mark. Sorry.
It's okay.
Everybody drink.
I still love you.
You know, we used to play this game because I had to tell Mark shut up a lot, and you have to drink every time. So
that's right. Remember back when we were doing this every Wednesday and Saturday for like 2.5 months. Every Wednesday we would just get sloshed to do this, and then Saturday morning it would be like, oh, mimosas and talk.
Yes. Hey, Derek, it's nice to see you. Derek, why are you in the office? Jeez,
he is a hard-working fella.
It's late.
It's not that late for a hard-working fella like Derek. So Mike Hess, eating a double cheeseburger from McDonald's watching. Thanks for the info.
That's what that meant.
That's what
figure out cheeseburgers.
DBL double. You were a waitress with us restaurants, and you're like, oh,
worked in a lot of restaurants. Oh, good. Reggie and her man, I saw your name fly by. Hello, Little Bear,
Tennessee. Thank you very much for the super chat. I think I saw a question down here. Here we go.
There it is.
There you go. My partner and I are taking our first ever international trip in August. Yay. That's awesome. Our first stop is in Salento, Italy. Do you have any impressions of this area of the country? I have not been to Salento, but I'm going to look on the map. and see
And
what's near
Italy's
there.
cool. How about that? I
Yeah,
haven't
no,
been anywhere
the
that I
people-
didn't like.
it doesn't even matter if you don't speak Italian. People still talk to you like you do speak Italian. So just have a smile. Actually, if you look like 10 words in Italian, tourists should know. It's a video from like one of our earliest videos. Remember, grazie. Grazie is thank you.
Grazie.
Anyway, grazie. Whatever, however you want to say it, they'll understand. That's a good one. Si, no. Yes, no. Si is yes. No is
Beer.
no. Birra.
Birra.
Birra
Is
is
that what I
beer.
just said?
No.
Vino.
Vino is wine. But grazie and prego is like you're welcome. What else?
Per favore.
Yeah, per
Please.
favore, please. But just saying per favore, grazie, and molto buono. Molto buono. Very good.
Buono.
Everybody, yeah, buono. Everyone will be happy. You're like, oh! And they'll love you for just doing that. I mean, it sounds silly.
Pick up a few words and they
I mean,
don't have to be fancy.
Like literally like 5.
Be
Like,
polite.
thank you, please, very good. So just say good, like very good. Dude, they'll be like, oh!
Yeah,
So
and
let's see.
if you're from Tennessee, just figure
Oh,
those
you're down by
nice words
Lecce?
your mama
Oh,
taught
dude,
you.
down there. Oh,
Lecce's
oh my God. Oh,
beautiful,
so down there, it's more farmland kind of stuff. So you're not going to have as many of the history, like big museums and stuff like that. There's some stuff there. I would definitely go to Lecce and do the tours around there. There's some good stuff to see there. There's actually ferries that'll go over to Croatia if you want to do that, or Albania, which I would prefer. But yeah, they're famous for like insanely feeding you tons. So you'll go from this to this. So have that. But no, the people will be like, they're even more touchy-feely down there. So be ready for just
I
be
wonder
ready.
if it's like that
Right.
right now after everything that went on with Corona.
Well, that's true. True.
Maybe.
But yeah, no, you'll have fun for sure.
Yeah.
So, and thank you for the super chat, my friend.
Yes, thank you. Elliot, singular. I thought Monasteriki was really neat. I do love the Monasteriki. I think it's a really cool thing. I was looking for that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the market and all the stuff around that area. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Joe H. Wales, love your do's and don'ts for whales. Absolutely spot on. Actually, love all your vlogs. Thank you very much.
Thank you. There it is.
No, that's a good one. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Robert, for the super chat. You can read this one.
Okay.
I'll look for this.
Hi, greetings from Sweden. Next time you visit Sweden, I'd be happy to show you northern Sweden, just 15-minute flight on SAS from Stockholm. Thank you. We have not been to Sweden in a hot minute. It's been about 4 or 5 years. 4 years. It's been 4 years.
It's been 4 years.
Yeah, and one of our dear friends lives in Stockholm. Well, he did, and now he's
We
in
have other
South
friends. We have other
Africa.
friends that in
But
Stockholm.
he's the one that he's a close friend that we've
Our
seen.
impetus to go.
Yamas.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but the north. So I've only been to the north and on the Finnish side, so it's a little different. But yeah, we would definitely go up there as long as we can. We'll have fun.
You know what I would like to do?
Thank
I'd
you,
like
Robert.
to see the northern
Top.
lights.
Yeah, see them around months. That's what I was thinking of.
We missed a super chat somewhere. Did
No,
you find
we
it?
found
Oh,
it.
good,
That was
good.
So Jim, you two are the best. Thank you very much.
Thank
Researching first Italy trip as well. Any experience with Costco travel? So I have people that swear by Costco travel. I have not used them, so I cannot say anything good or bad. So I cannot give you my personal opinion on it because I have not used them. But I have had friends that have enjoyed it.
I know several people who have had really good experiences. We just
Like
haven't
getting
used it.
deals
So.
for their car rental, but that was more in the U.S. So.
Yeah, they were definitely U.S. things. So from what I understand, particularly with things abroad, they're going to set up the entire trip for you or the majority of it. So if that's the way you want to do it, go do it. So there you go.
Thanks, Omar. Oh, James going for the triple cheese. That's that. Now you're just talking crazy. Now you make me hungry, oddly enough. Let's see.
Stuart Ross, only 2:10 a.m. in the UK.
See,
Stuart's
we're in
always up
Eastern.
late. We
Having the Eastern start time.
I know. We always keep Stuart up way too late, and I feel like I should ship melatonin to him or something, or bad influences, or maybe we're good
get him
influences.
some dark chocolate so he can stay awake.
Maybe that too.
I don't know. We love you, Stu. You know that. Oh, is Laura on? Musings of Midlife. Hey. Okay, so Jim, this is one. Do you have Western wildfire smoke where you are? Central Indiana is smoky tonight. Amazing just so far. So actually, we were here in Connecticut, and you could the sun or the moon was pink yesterday.
Pink. It was like red.
Yeah,
orange.
from
It
the
was crazy.
Yeah, from the fires. So we had that, and we were actually in Idaho and Montana with the fires last fall.
Oh my God!
And
it wasn't just smoky. I mean, it was like
like we were worried. Like, it was far enough away that they're like, you don't have to worry yet. But it was one of those, like, I was looking up, like, if we need to leave.
I was like, why is it so foggy today? And Mark's like, you're an idiot.
Yeah. Well, the thing
like,
was, the first few days we were there, it wasn't there yet. And so it was like crystal clear skies. Yeah. And then
one day
boom.
I woke up in the morning and it was just thick as pea soup.
Yeah. And then when I realized what it was like,
it's really scary.
Yeah, it's scary.
I had a friend who used to be she was a, what did we call she had a special name because she was on the plane. She's a firefighter, but like
airborne kind.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Like crazy, scary stuff.
Hi, Tamara.
She had balls of steel. Am I allowed to say that on? I just did.
Well, you just did. The advertisers will be happy, but it's okay. We still love you.
Whoops.
Yeah. Traveling Nick P says we have wildfire smoke here in Minnesota from Canada. Oops.
Thomas, I hope you get to see the Northern Lights, but I can't imagine there's a whole lot of darkness right now.
Yeah, that's one of those things you kind of miss out. I remember when I saw I was living in Finland, and I was an exchange student there, and they took us. We were up in northern Finland. I broke my collarbone in Levi, which is a ski place in northern Finland. But before I broke it, we went for, I think it's December 6th, is Finnish like Independence Day or whatever, and I think it's Independence Day. But they're like, they took us out, like drove us out in the middle of nowhere, and there's these like fires on the side, walking us out to this kind of like circular thing in the middle of the forest with the fires all around it. And they're like, we are here to show you Finnish fireworks. Look up. And we all look up, because we were like, 16, 17, 18 at the time. And we all look up, and the northern lights are going. I mean, I have plenty of pictures in the old school cameras. I'm trying to get a picture of it. So, of course, just, black nothing. But I just remember how cool that was.
Yeah. So, yep.
So, Dexter, the smoke was crazy. Barry, we got it from BC. It cleared up today. I'm glad it's clearing up.
Yeah.
And thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for that. Tamarella says BC is on fire. It's very scary for us here. I can't even imagine.
Which I mean, it's great because the dryness is out there, but where we've been this entire trip, it's just been torrential downpours.
Yeah, like it's
so much rain.
Insane how different it is.
Victor in Cambridge, Mass. I appreciate your channel. Thanks, buddy. I watch you from work in a cancer lab. Hey, keep up your good work because your work is way more important than ours. So thank you for what you do. Let's see. So Eric Cartman. Sorry, Eric. I know people chuckle. About to visit.
I think that's intentional, or maybe it's not.
I don't know, but I'll say his name. About to visit a trade fair event in Hanover, Germany for work, whenever it will take place, to depend on how to spend the free time. So Hanover got like literally wiped out, okay?
Sure.
Like really wiped out. But what's cool is there's some decent day trips from Hanover. You can go to Goslar in the Harz Mountains. That's an easy one to go to. You can get to Luneburg. Which I have a video on Luneburg, and we have videos in the Harz Mountains as well. That'll get you there. Hanover has some stuff in town to check out as well. But if you're there, you got to go to the Ernst August Brauerei. This brewery that's there. It's always a fun time, especially on the weekends. So definitely check that one out. So I hope that can help you out. And then, in Hanover, the big trade fair. So you have a lot of people that'll be there to do that. Block user.
Oh, I hit the wrong button.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So Joe H. Wills, best travel vloggers. Mark's enthusiasm is contagious.
Except when you have to wake up to that at 6 a.m.
Or 3 a.m. when we have the 6 a.m. flight.
Oh God, y'all! I want to just slap him some mornings. Oh.
Wait, how am I not charging? Oh.
How are you? What?
Am I not plugged in? Let's see if that. No, not this. This is plugged in, but like the box.
Everything's plugged in, baby.
Let's see. So one thing about my.
Your surface has been we put this thing
There we go.
through the ringer all the time because
this thing gets. I
It's
do
a
like
lot
my
of
service
miles.
for it gets a lot of miles. It gets the crap kicked out of it, pardon my language, and I do all nowadays I do all my editing on it because my more powerful computer got Zoncode, so we need to get some stuff there. Anyway, Darian, you see, I think I've gained 100 pounds with my wife's cooking. Yeah, me too, Darian. Me too.
Literally.
So Matt, have you been to Newport, Rhode Island? I have not been to Newport. We were thinking about going over there, but we just went to Westerly today.
Yeah, we have.
And I've been to conferences in Providence multiple times. But I have not
I
gone.
really wanted to get to Providence this trip. It's not going to happen. I really want to see the fires. And also so I went to SCAD, Savannah College of Art Design, but RISD, Rhode Island School of Design, was on my list too. Yeah, I know, like fancy names. For being creative places, they don't have creative names. Did you get those, baby?
I'll get them.
Okay.
Yeah, so Stuart Rouse, I see where the Hearts Mountain, just go on the railroad. There's actually a little steam train that will take you up to Broken Mountain. I think it's Broken Mountain. It actually is cool, at least from Venagouda. Really great town to spend some time for. Alice asks, Walter's World, have you either been to Istanbul or Turkey before? So Istanbul and Turkey was on last summer's itinerary that got Zoncode. So we have that. Let's see. Travel Nick P, you missed an earlier super chat. Have a great trip. But Nick, whose super chat was it?
Sorry.
I'm sorry, buddy.
Um,
I'll scroll back up and look for it, Nick. Or Nick, just put the question back in. You know, and that's one of the things is what we see, and what you all see is very different. So sometimes we miss out. So we apologize. That's why I have the thing. It's like just keep having more. Like just repost your question again and again, so you have that. So apologies, my friend.
I apologize, Nick. That sucks.
So I'll look for that. You answer the question about Wisconsin. So Mr. Allen says, thank you very much for the super chat. Says,
what is your opinion on Wisconsin? I might want to move there in a couple of years. So Wisconsin's like super clean, pretty friendly people. Weather is not awesome in the winter, but it's not like the worst thing ever. Because although it's really snowy and stuff, they know what they're doing, and the roads are clear and dry pretty quickly. So don't think that, but you still have to have, you have your wits about you because it can still get black ice and spotty and whatever. But I like Wisconsin. I really like that the dells are fun. There's a lot of different stuff to see. Door County is a really cool place to visit. But the cities are.
I mean, everyone I know that went to Wisconsin, University of Wisconsin, that lived in Madison, they all love Madison. Like, it's like people from Columbus, Ohio, just love Columbus. It's like people from Madison love Madison. So there is that.
I also know a lot of people who really love Milwaukee.
Yeah. So Travel Nick P, I found it. Nick, thank you for bringing it up. I apologize, my friend. Last time I was in Mystic was August 2017. It was for the 300th anniversary of the Denison Homestead there, which has been my family for centuries.
Stop
Dude,
it! We just
cool.
passed the Denison Homestead today. We were.
Which one?
Did you not see the signs?
Oh, really?
When we were buzzing around.
Oh yeah. It's
stuff. It's not
this side.
tall.
Yeah.
I mean, you're never that far away in this area, right?
Well, we're on the wrong side of the drawbridge.
Yeah, right.
Dude, that's cool, Nick.
So that's really amazing. That's just awesome.
Cool, buddy. Sorry.
Okay.
So, WD, Florida Boy in Paris now. It's open now. I'm glad it's open now. Hopefully, it'll be open in a month or so. Fingers crossed. Let's see. So, Tickle and Charlie plan a trip to Burgundy, France in September 2022. Think about spending the second part in Croatia, Istrian Peninsula. We've been there. Best way to travel from France to Croatia with my 78-year-old mother. Okay, so Croatia is very popular for cheap flights. So it might be a cheap flight one
But it might
to
be
go
a
there.
squishy flight.
What?
Well, I don't know that I would take my 78-year-old mother on one of those cheap airlines.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, but there's not a lot of other options to get.
There's not. So pick an EasyJet, not a Ryanair.
Yeah, or you can look at like Dubrovnik has major airlines, but that's not Istria. That's the wrong coast. You're looking at Pula and Rovine. Well, there's one thing. Okay, so you can get to Venice. Check and see if the ferries are still going from Venice to Rovine, and that could be an easier way. Now she has to get in and out of the things, I mean, I know my parents' age, and if she's still spry.
Yeah, actually, so that's the way we've done that area. That's the way we've gotten there. And the boat ride was fine. It was easy, actually. So
I went through there with a broken collarbone, my friend. Good times. Good times. Eric Hartman's a real one. Okay. Yeah, James says Portugal got the fires yearly. Yeah,
I remember.
Yeah, I mean, it's the north and the south. I mean, it's just really, really bad.
It's crazy.
Let's see. Okay, we got Wisconsin. All right, sorry. Trying to find questions. So please repost the questions. Also, if you want to follow us on Amazon, we were supposed to be on Amazon tonight, Amazon.com/shop/Walter's World. We're supposed to be on there to do more lives.
A little issue with the iPhone. Though.
Yes.
And it's not well.
Yeah.
That's all we have to say about that.
Let's see.
Have you ever been to Bergen?
No, I've not been. The clam cakes are on. Yes, they are quite good.
Oh, we had whole belly clams today for lunch. Well, Mark did. I had two because I wanted lobster. But whole belly clams are so stinking good, y'all.
And it's totally different than having the clam strips, which are also awesome. They're awesome.
They're kind of like, I mean, when you bite into them, you'll feel like it's like a fried oyster a little bit, but different.
So Austin, Texas, James, my wife and I love your vlogs. Thank you very much. Barbecue on us next time you're all in Austin.
Thank
and maybe
you.
Jocelyn will wear a white shirt again to have Texas barbecue.
That is not the smartest thing, but I did not get any on myself.
I'm sure I did. You're awesome. I suck.
I used to help run a blues and barbecue festival, so I know how to eat barbecue without getting sloppy.
Hi, Lauren.
Also, I'm just lucky, I guess. Hey, Lauren.
For those of you with trolls and stuff like this on here, so since I'm running this through StreamYard, as you can see over there, I do not have the same powers that I have.
Yeah, we did. Our Mark Finley, if y'all don't know, Mark Finley is like the moderator from heaven. I mean, the man catches everything. But he's not able to do that when we use StreamYard.
Well, you can do somebody can't do it.
It's not the same. Yeah. Anyway, getting too far into that.
So apologies for any jerkwads that are posting on here. So I don't know. I didn't because I don't even see it on here because again, using third party stuff, it's like when you book hotels and flights with third party, you have issues that you can't do stuff with that which sucks. So Tristan, love your Budapest videos. Thank you. Our favorite place to go. Hopefully it opens up for Christmas. Starting in Paris. Are you still going to France this summer? Hopefully. Still on the plans.
Colton, my wife and I are planning on going to Rome. What day trips do y'all recommend? Love y'all's videos. Vlogs.
So day trips where you're coming back, there's not a lot. There's some. There's not a lot of great ones. It's like an overnight.
Yes.
Would be better, like an overnight to Florence, an overnight to Siena, or an overnight to Assisi's, or an overnight going down to Naples, Sorrento, see a little bit of the Amalfi Coast. That's what I'd recommend. And what I would do, if you're going to do that, I would just have book your hotel for the week you're there in Rome, okay? And just don't be like, 3 days, then 1 day gone, and 3. No, have it the whole week. It's not going to make. And then so you can leave your stuff. So you just do like a day pack.
Just grab a backpack and spend the night wherever you're going.
Yeah.
And stay in like a pension or something on those off nights where you're away to make up for the price.
Yeah.
Rachel Luna, do you collect certain things from your travels? We do.
Twisted ankles.
That's Mark. No, I usually try to buy artwork. I often, particularly outside the U.S., I find lots of street vendors. Street artists are my people, and I buy a lot from them. Like, I have so many pieces that I've paid 5 to 20 euros for, and I just bring them home and get them framed, and that makes me happy. I also like to buy weird kitchen equipment, like small things. Like today I bought glass stir sticks that you can't find stir sticks, like nice ones, and so I bought 3 glass stir sticks because I could.
Yeah. So Stephanie asks, "Hi, Jocelyn and Mark. Hello. Did you enjoy the Crystal Storehouse? I loved it. I go back. I loved holding the leg lamp, elbow cough, wash hands." Yeah, no, there was like, yes, it was, yeah.
It was funny because they made very sure to tell us that as soon as the house closed for the night, they came in and disinfected. They're like, we will clean and disinfect the entire house before you take over.
And they do it again at 9:30 in the morning for like half hour or something.
Yes, so like we have to stop using the rest of the house at a certain time. Like we have to be out of Ralphie and Randy's bedroom at a certain time so that they can clean and disinfect the house after we've been in there. So they're very careful about it, but it's really cool.
So in signing up, greetings from Brazil. Hola. Thank you for your kind videos about our country. We're looking forward to your next visit. We will be back. We will be back, my friend. Let's see. This one about money. Louis asks, hi, do you like spending a euro every time you visit the majority of Europe's country, or is it a pain? No, it's fine. I mean, it's just money. And nowadays, most of the time, you're just paying with card, lots of places anyway, so you don't really have to worry about it too much. So Lauren asked, does your YouTube channel fund all your travel, or do you have another career? So I'm actually a professor for my day job, and if you go to youtube.com/Professor Walters, you can actually see my marketing and YouTube videos and business videos and see what I do there.
It's like an award-winning professor. Like he wins awards every year because he's the shiznit. I can say that, right?
Yeah, you can say that. Okay. So Wendy is going to the UK for the 25th anniversary, and he must go to pub restaurants in York. It's been too long since I spent a lot of time there. I would, like we said, we were talking before, ask the concierge, ask the people up there, take a black cab and ask them, or
the cabbies are always really knowledgeable.
Yeah, Uber drivers are not.
My cabbies are right there.
If you could swim with dolphins or go shark diving, what would you choose to do? Probably dolphins.
I would swim with dolphins.
Because I'm so tasty.
I have been able to pet wild dolphins. I was on my friend's boat and we were near the shrimp boats, and the dolphins follow the shrimp boats and get the remains of whatever they're throwing off, and we were just floating near them, and dolphins were literally jumping up by us, and I could just put my hand out and they jumped and touched us. So they touched us, we didn't touch them. It was the most amazing experience. I just loved it.
Mm-hmm. Positive bunks there for thank you very. Apparently the beer here is a bit stronger than I expected. Any advice for Philly, Wilmington, Delaware going next week? You have the downtown historic stuff. Philly cheesesteak anywhere you go. I mean, it sounds silly, but you really should have it. But actually, you talk to people from New Jersey, they swear the New Jersey side has better Philly cheesesteaks than actually Philadelphia. So there's that. But I don't have a lot of stuff there. That's actually a future destination we're going to be going to and filming. So I've only started my research on there. So I'm sorry, I suck. But sorry, Pasta Punk.
Caitlin, did you take any medicine in preparation for going to El Salvador? Yes. What? We didn't take any.
We took like Pepto and yeah.
Yeah, we didn't take anything like for like malaria or anything like that. No, we just went. We did take a lot of Imodium, praise God, because let me tell you,
one bad
water and we were very sick.
Yes. So my friend the pharmacist also has ankles made out of paper mache. Welcome to the club. Yeah, no matter what. We actually have a good one of a picture of me totally crashing with Liam on my shoulders.
No, but he saved the baby.
I did save the baby. The microphone got flattened. The camera got smashed, but Liam was totally fine. So Steph asks, any chance for a meetup? Thank you very much for the super chat. Any chance for a meetup with some of your New England fans? So we actually bumped into a few while we've been going around, but we're actually leaving New England relatively quickly, and so I've got to film a bunch of Connecticut stuff tomorrow, and then we're heading out.
And we're out.
So I'm sorry,
probably
Steph.
not. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Steph.
You should do that sometime.
Yeah.
Also, I'm going to be really honest with you guys. I am not comfortable doing meetups when the kids are with us, just because
there's been other YouTubers who've been killed.
And
we're not worried about that, but we used to get death threats and stuff.
We've had a lot of ugly stuff directed toward us, and it's one thing if we decide to handle that, but it's something very different when our kids are with us.
Yeah. Wendy, greetings from Santa Clarita, California. You inspired my husband to do travel. Awesome. Next trip is Greece.
Opa!
So C asks, how do you guys afford to travel so much? We make it a financial priority. Um, honestly, like we haven't had cable for over a decade.
Well, shoot, I haven't had cable since 2002.
Whatever. Yeah. But the thing is, like, we really prioritize that. So for me, it's like, do we go out to the Italian restaurant at home, or do I save that money
Go to Italy?
Go to Italy. And that's actually something that when I used to live in Europe, I used to do that for myself because I was a college student and I didn't have a ton of cash. But I'm like, man, I go out to the pizzeria with my buddies. I know I'm going to spend 20 euros on pizza and another 20 euros, 30 euros on beers. That's 50 euros. And at the time, I could go a round trip ticket to Italy was like 50 euros from Portugal. So I'm like, I'll save the money for that. So it really comes to like really changing your kind of perspective on cash and on money and just prioritizing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's free to travel. It's not cheap to travel. We don't get any comp trips. I know a lot of YouTubers will get like
free trips
or
and free
stuff.
stays. We don't do that.
Yeah, we don't do because I don't feel comfortable.
But we watch our pennies and we get deals wherever you can, even just on daily stuff. And we use our cards that help us with travel. We use those constantly. Click Chris's, please.
Hey, Chris.
Yes, because this is a thing. I love the street artists in Piazza Navona.
We have a few things from there.
I have at least 3 paintings from artists right there, and it is a great place to find things. Also, if anybody is going to Peru, is it in Kennedy Park on Saturdays and Sundays?
Mm-hmm.
They have all these artists in there. Probably one of the best paintings I've ever bought was by a man named Ariel. And I want to go back just to buy more of his artwork. It was so good.
So, yeah, the online voyage had some stuff out there. You there?
Oh, Vice in Uruguay. We love Uruguay. And Tonight Wine.
And Tonight Wine, yes, exactly. You'll do Kurt's one right there, and I'm looking for.
Walters, how many days does it take to see Yellowstone right and where to stay? So you can stay in Yellowstone. I think this year the NPS, the National Park Service, has opened the hotel in Yellowstone. You have to book that way the heck in advance. And quite frankly, right now you need to be booking any hotel anywhere near Yellowstone well in advance. We went last summer. We ended up renting a cabin in Idaho. It was about 15 miles from maybe 12, 15 miles.
It was significantly cheaper too.
It was hugely cheaper. And it was kind of great because we could go in, it was close enough that we could go really early. And that's the best thing to do is to get there really early. We literally sat, I guess there was a holdup because, there was like a moose crossing or something.
There's baby moose.
Yes. And so people sit and they watch and it holds up traffic for ages. And the national parks are packed and Yellowstone is one of the big ones, right? So be prepared for that. Personally, I would try to go in a shoulder season, not in the summer. So like when kids are in school, I would go when kids are in school. That would be my best.
So Blue Aqua, thank you very much for the super chat again. Note to Ryanair, we booked them Paris to Rome. Good to know. Look, Ryanair, just remember, you're getting what you're paying for. You're paying very little. So, hey, if you don't care,
they have been known to charge you for your carry-on.
Yeah. And if you think I should be fine with U.S. U.S. carry-ons are different than Europeans, and they'll weigh it and stuff. So, I mean, we've had stuff taken from there. I mean, I still fly with them because sometimes it's the only option. But I will say is, if you can go on there, pay the extra 15 to 20 euros for each of you to be able to board early, so you can get overhead space, you can get a seat together.
Because otherwise, it's like
it's
a flying bus. It's a flying public bus.
Yeah.
When you think of it that way, then you'll handle it better.
Yeah. The Krakenaut, going to The Hague in September, my first trip outside the U.S. Any tips? Well, The Hague, okay, so since you're staying in The Hague, there's the cathedral downtown. It's been so long since I've been there, I can't remember. I mean, it's been like over 20 years since I've been there. But what's cool about the Netherlands, everything is close there. So when you're there, I mean, even if you're like, well, I got stuff I have to do in the morning, or I have stuff I have to do in the afternoon, you still have time to go to other spots. Like you can go up to the coast, you can go to see other cities, Göttingen or wherever. I mean, you got a lot of options when you're there. So I would really look at your do you have things going on when you're there? Because you can do a ton of day trips, and you can use The Hague as your base and go from there, because you can still get back, because the trains go till relatively
and they're
9, 10
always
at night.
on time.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I've ever gotten on a train anywhere in the Netherlands and not been on time.
Yeah.
Like,
This one.
yep.
Brent Wild.
Hey, Brent.
My Mark Jocelyn, as far as I'm going this year, is Estes Park, Colorado, a very popular place. You go by Rocky Mountain National Parks, right by there. For a strongman competition, you go, Brent. The Shop
Are you
Classic.
going to be in it, Brent? I want to
Four-time
know.
World Strongman Champion should be great.
That sounds really
Cool.
fun. I think that just sounded like fun. And
That
I want
does
to
sound
know
fun.
if Brent is actually going to be competing.
Yeah, Elliot says they nickel and dime you for everything. That's all about
That is
Ryanair.
Ryanair. That they do. They absolutely nickel and dime you for every dang thing.
So Stefan has a thing. Hey guys, are Airbnbs the best option for long-term travel around Europe? Don't just look at Airbnb. Look at VRBO. There's other apartment rental stuff. But what we find is anything
Europe,
less than 3 days, you might do a hotel.
Yes,
Because Airbnbs now with the cleaning costs that they're just, I mean, it's just bad.
They're kind of raking you over the coals. And not everyone's doing that. That's each individual place. It's not Airbnb, the company. But they don't really regulate things too much. So, but if you're doing long term, you're going to stay somewhere for a long time, you can do an Airbnb, but you may actually find it more economical to look in that city or town, whatever, and check out the Immobilier, those sites for that area, because they're often like 1 month rentals. You can even contact, a real estate company, and they may be able to help you find something for a longer term.
Yep.
That ends up being less expensive. Oh, Mary Ellen is going to Rome for a cruise in 2023. That's awesome, cool. Mary Ellen.
So Travis has any bucket list countries for you?
Yes. Bhutan and Ethiopia are like my two right now that are really high on my list that I want to get to. I would like to go back and explore more of Africa. I really fell in love with Africa. I think Ghana would be really cool.
For me, it's Egypt, Israel, probably New Zealand, the place I haven't gone to yet, but I really want to go see. Blake asks, have you ever been to Patagonia? Yes, quite a few times. Beautiful, beautiful nature there. Just to be ready for really long boat rides that hurt a lot. Just saying. So Brandon Geary, thank you very much for the super chat.
Why can't we pull that up?
It won't let me pop it up here. I don't know why. Sicily or Puglia for a month of June to keep it cheap but high value. Okay, so Sicily was used as a breadbasket for the Romans. So what you have there is you got Palermo in the north. If you go on the west coast, there's a town on a rock base that's cool to check out. You got the Valley of Temples, which is center south, and then you have on the very east side Syracuse and you have Mount Etna there. So there is that. Puglia is probably got more stuff and will give you more options for day trips out there. But if you have a month, both those are relatively affordable places to be. I would just split it down the middle and put half and half, because you'll be able to for a cost of like lunch, you can get to the other one. So I would look at that.
Okay.
So I apologize, we couldn't show that one. And Sam, we got that one. I don't know why Sam's still showing up for your Monday. So
Tom says beginning Saturday, 2 nights Bozeman, 2 nights West Yellowstone, 2 nights Jackson, 1 night Twin Falls, 1 night Boise. We did a very Boise.
Perfect.
We did a very similar trip, and I think you'll really enjoy it. West Yellowstone's cool if you are in West Yellowstone and you want to go fishing. Big Sky Anglers, a friend of ours from high school, actually is one of the owners, and so we called and we were like, we didn't even talk to him. I talked to somebody else, and they
we got to see him. We were there.
We did get to see him and hang out, which was really cool. But they hooked us up with a guide, and Caleb and I went fly fishing, and it was amazing.
So if people can help Esther out with any dinner recommendations for Boston, because I know they get the Union Oyster House is famous, but there's so many great restaurants there. You could go with the Yelp. We were talking about it earlier, but I'll let the hive mind on here help her out. Okay. So no, there to go. Kurt was asked. Kurt had one. Dang it, Kurt, where'd you go? Okay. Kurt said, I was told to get a national park sticker to save on going to them. What do you think about that? It's not. It's actually America the Beautiful Pass. It'll be like a credit card you pay. If you're going to go to 2 national parks, or it pays for itself, it's for a whole year. I get it every year. It makes your life easier. Just show it to them. They'll let you in. So if you're going to go anywhere.
And Kurt, if you have a 4th grader, every year the NPS will give them like free admission stuff. And I don't know if it's this year. I think it's this year. They're also doing it for 5th graders because last year was such a bust. So you can look into that if you have kids that age.
Yeah. All kinds of tips here. Good. So EJ, thank you very much for the super chat. Do you know if Tunisia and Algeria? No, I do not recommend going there right now. Tunisia, I loved Tunisia when I went there. It was before the Arab Spring. I'm not 100% sure what things are like now, but I did really enjoy my time with the people. Were fantastic. The food was incredible. El Gem is a coliseum that you can actually walk into, whereas if you go to the Coliseum in Rome, you can only you're on the outside kind of stuff. This one you can walk into where they fought and stuff, so it's really cool. Tons of really great stuff there. I really like Tunisia. Yeah, so like Riki said, Tunisia is awesome.
I want to say Sam also said that there's a national parks pass in the UK, and we have done that. They also have a really great historic preservation group, the National Trust there. Both are worth joining if you're going to see 3 places. Plus, you're giving money to an organization that saves things for the future.
Okay, so we will finish up with this super chat from Edward. Thank you everybody for being on here. Florence for one day only. Any tips on how to maximize the experience?
Get there early.
Yeah, get there early. But the Uffizi Museum, if they're all-time tickets, booked out online. Going to see David at the Academy, booked out online. Those are 2 things you have to do to go inside. The cathedral, you can still. Well, I'm not sure if they have new rules now. The cathedral, you can go in, and that's more of a you can go in any time kind of thing. But those 2, you want to get it planned. So I would get a time ticket for Academia early in the morning, and then give yourself the afternoon for the Uffizi, and then between those, go to the Duomo. Consider between those. That's what I would recommend. So you have that, and then Mad Healer of Windhurst just saying hi. I hope I'm as well. Enjoy. I guess it is Boston this month. Thanks, buddy. We appreciate it, and everybody want to say thank you for being on here for your July 21st day, evening, afternoon, or the 22nd if you're Stuart, who might still be up. But we're going to say thank you to everybody.
It's our anniversary tomorrow. One of them.
Oh, that's right. Well, I knew that.
I didn't know what the date was.
Well, I remember yesterday, I was like, wait, our anniversary is somewhere around here. So we'll have that. So
Mark Finley, I saw that you
Mark Finley, you're the greatest ever, and I'm sorry.
I missed it. So can you just maybe, DM us or text us or whatever somehow. Thank you.
And Steph Taylor, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your trip. I'll be back living in the Midwest in a month. Coming home for 9 years.
Wow, I did that, sister.
Yeah.
Woo! It's something.
Yeah, I was 12 years in Europe and South America and came back.
Yeah, you did it too. I mean, we both. It's crazy, but you'll fall right back into it.
Thanks,
Liz. Y'all have a great night.
Thanks for
hanging out with us for almost 2 hours. I hope we weren't too crazy.
Yeah, thanks everybody, and thanks for the anniversary love. So y'all be well. We'll talk to you later.
Bye y'all.